finding the right investment, to managing all your accounts with different providers, or being able to fully track your transactions. So, we thought of making it simple for you. Whatever your goal may be, the Achieve app gives you the right support system to get you there. It provides you with easy access to the right financial products you need to realize your goals. The sign-up process is simple and without any stress. You're also able to grow your savings and investment with the DigiSave account. You can also monitor your transactions effectively. So, download the app now and do more with your cash.
Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, joining us all over the world via Zoom, via Facebook, and via YouTube. I welcome you all to the Petra Members Conference Scheme 2022, where we get to have our distinguished directors and trustees give us an overview of the previous year's financial performance. Today, I'm not here alone. I'm very happy to have our distinguished trustees here with us. My name is Kale Metal Tutu. I'm going to be your moderator for today. But before we start, I'd like to say that according to Robert F. Kennedy, it's only those who dare to achieve great failures are the ones who dare to achieve great successes. So why not achieve more with Petra? Because with Petra, you always definitely achieve more. All right, now straight into business, I would like to introduce our trustees who are here with us. It's my singular honor and privilege, first of all, to introduce to my right hand, seated in the middle, our chairman. He's in the person of Mr. Chris Hammond, who is the Deputy Managing Director of Petra Trust. He joined Petra Trust from Aero Contractors Company of Nigeria, ACN, where he served as Chief Financial Officer. And in his position as CFO, he oversaw ACN's finance, purchasing and information and computer technology teams, and was central to the company's strategy and business development. You're most welcome, Mr. Chris Hammond.
Very much.
All right, thank you so much. Up next, I would like to introduce our second trustee, who is also seated to my extreme right-hand side with a very broad smile. He's in the person of Mr. Kweku Osai Brenu. He is the Managing Associate and Head of Chambers of R.S. Agbenoto and Associates and Brenu & Co. He is a graduate of the University of Ghana, Legon, where he obtained his LLB honors in 1976. He has been a member of the Ghana Bar Association for over 41 years and counting. His wealth of practice experience has focused primarily on commercial and corporate law, specifically in mining and infrastructural development. Without much ado, you're most welcome, Mr. Kweku Osai Brenu.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our third trustee, who is not seen physically with us here, is joining us via Zoom. All right, so I'll introduce him briefly as well. He was appointed as a trustee of Petra in 2015. He brings on board a wealth of experience in investment banking, consulting, commercial operations, and private equity, having worked with Goldman Sachs, McKinsey, Diageo, and Deloitte, among others. His experience in finance was honed at Goldman Sachs & Co.'s New York City office from 2007, where his responsibilities included coordinating and managing origination, valuation, acquisition, and due diligence for investment transactions. You're most welcome, Mr. Eric Otu, who is joining us via Zoom. Last but not least, our final trustee, he is in the person of Mr. Daniel Japanin, seated right next to me. All right, so he has a Bachelor of Commerce, MBA Finance, Chartered Accountant, and a member of ICAG Advanced Diploma in Management Accounting, SIMA. Mr. Daniel Japanin is the Group Financial Controller of the Tobinco Group of Companies, and before joining the Tobinco Group of Companies in 2018, was the AG Assistant General Manager Finance for Bulk Oil Storage and Transportation Bust Company Limited in 2017. He was also the Assistant General Manager, Finance for Tema Oil Refinery from 2015 to 2016. The list of achievements goes on and on and on. I would have to, take more time if I have to continue reading their achievements. These are our trustees for the day, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all stakeholders and shareholders of Petra. You're welcome, our dear trustees. Would you like to give us any comments to start with, please? Starting with the chairman.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Perhaps I'll just give you my opening remarks at this point.
Yes, please.
I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you for joining us for the annual general meeting of members of the Petra Advantage and Petra Opportunity Pension Schemes. As trustees, we are ultimately responsible for the governance and administration of the schemes. And we do not take this responsibility lightly, as our decisions affect the livelihoods of our scheme members both at retirement and before they retire in the case of Tier 3. For this reason, we strive that you, our scheme members, get great returns, but also that you get great service in every interaction. As part of this, I believe that direct communication with our scheme members in a forum like this allows you to hear from us and us to hear from you. Last year, as a board, we committed to holding this event annually, and so today's event is in fulfillment of that commitment. On the program today, you'll hear from some of the leaders tasked with giving you the very best service. Our next speaker will give you in-depth details of the scheme's performance, outlook, and portfolio strategies, and you will have opportunities to ask questions as well. However, I'd like to take a few minutes to give you some details of the two schemes now, and I'll start with the Petra Advantage Pension Scheme. The Petra Advantage Pension Scheme grew from 899 million at the beginning of the year 2021 to 1.17 billion as of 31st December 2021. We started the year with 223,000 active members and added on nearly 29,000 new customers, bringing the total number of customers to 246,000 as of December 2021. This includes just over 5,600 withdrawals from the scheme for various reasons, which are documented on page 6 of the audited financial circulated earlier. The scheme generated a net return of 16.4 for the year. This performance compared favorably against the average 91-day T-bill return of 12.5. Moving on to the Petra Opportunity Pension Scheme. The Petra Opportunity Pension Scheme grew from 661 million Ghana cedis in AUM at the beginning of the year 2021 to 922 million Ghana cedis as of the end of the year. We started the year with nearly 34,000 active customers and added on over 8,000 more customers, bringing the total customer base to just over 40,000 active customers as of the end of the year. There were 2,000 withdrawals from the scheme for various reasons. Again, the reasons for that can be found in the financial statements circulated. The scheme ended the year with a net return, after all taxes and fees have been deducted, of 16.3%. Again, this performance compared favorably against the average 91-day Treasury bill return for the same period. Obviously, 2021 was a good year for our schemes. Along with my fellow trustees here and online, I'd like to say a big thank you to all of you for the confidence you have put in us as your trustees. We'll continue to pursue all opportunities for better investment performance while mitigating risk and ensuring that we deliver quality service and convenience to all our scheme members. Thank you all for your attention.
Thank you very much, our chairperson, Mr. Chris Hammond, for those insightful remarks. It's indeed interesting to know that in the year 2021, where the world was recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic and its ripple effects on the economic dynamics of the world, Petra actually saw some very good performances. It's very incredible.
Thank you.
Right then, I'd like to know if any of our trustees have any further remarks. Mr. Japanin.
Well, I think Chairman has said it all.
All right.
But just to say good morning once again to our customers and stakeholders, and just to tell all of you that this AGM is an opportunity for us to tell you what we do and how we have been doing it. And so you have an opportunity to ask questions for them to be addressed. But just know that you are in safe hands, and this is the best place. You have nowhere else to go. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Indeed, we are in safe hands and you have nowhere else to go. Yes, sir, Mr. Osai-Brenu, any further comments?
No, I think I'll align myself with both Chris and Daniel, that this is the best place for everybody to be.
Thank you so much. We're all well aligned then. All right, so just to further reiterate that this is going to be an interactive session. And so if you have questions, please do well to drop them in the comments or chat box. And in due time, they will all be attended to and addressed accordingly. And please note we are live on our social media handles. We're live on Facebook and on YouTube as Petra Achieve More. And we're also live on Zoom, so please do well to drop your comments and your queries. They'll be attended to accordingly. At this juncture, we'll break. We'll go for a commercial break, and we'll be right back with more. Thank you.
Goals, dreams, aspirations. We all have them, and they're the reasons why we save and invest, aren't they? But are you saving right? Because if you're not, then you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Let me introduce you to Petra's Wealth Planner, a personal financial planning and advisory service for individuals who desire to achieve their dreams. With Wealth Planner, a trained individual sits with you and develops a financial plan based on your unique needs and recommends the appropriate financial investment to attain your goals. What you need to do is to contact Petra for a planning session, and an advisor is going to call you to introduce him or herself and get to know you better and understand your current position and what your desires are. Then your goals are clearly outlined and a financial plan is developed based on your unique situation. Your advisor will also make some savings and investment recommendations to you to consider in executing the plan. Remember, the right execution is what leads to achieving your goals. That is why your advisor will keep tabs on your plan and provide ongoing advice throughout the execution until your goals are achieved. So, what are you waiting for? Call us on 0242 435 037 or send us a DM on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at Petra on Social, and let's get started. Petra, achieve more.
Running payroll can be a strenuous task, so the last thing you want is an extra lengthy process to validate schedules and then make payments, only to be told the payment couldn't be identified or assigned to your staff. But validating schedules and payments for your staff's pension contributions shouldn't be that stressful. With Petra's self-service schedule validation, you can validate your monthly schedules with a few clicks right from the comfort of your seat in less than 3 minutes. It's so simple. Here is what you have to do. 1. Open your browser and visit members.petratrust.com. Enter your login credentials and then select Manage Employer and validate. 2. To upload your schedule for validation. 3. After a successful validation, a report and payment advice will be sent to your email address. 4. Use the schedule ID on the payment advice as the bank account number when making payment at the bank, or as the reference if you are making payment via bank transfer. That's it. So simple. Please remember that every validated schedule will have a unique schedule ID, which will start with SI with a few other characters. Without this ID, the bank cannot accept your payments. So always look out for the unique schedule ID on the payment advice for payments. Experience convenience. If you require any assistance, click on the chat feature on our members portal or contact our client services team on phone at 024-243-5037 extension 4. Email clientservices@petratrust.com or contact your relationship manager. Petra, achieve more.
It's possible to achieve your financial goals. However, finding the right solution for your financial goals can be complicated. From finding the right investment to managing all your accounts with different providers or being able to fully track your transactions. So, we thought of making it simple for you. Whatever your goal may be, the Achieve app gives you the right support system to get you there. It provides you with easy access to the right financial products you need to realize your goals. The sign-up process is simple and without any stress. You're also able to grow your savings and investment with the DigiSave account. You can also monitor your transactions effectively. So, download the app now and do more with your cash.
Goals, dreams, aspirations. We all have them, and they are the reasons why we save and invest, aren't they? But are you saving right? Because if you're not, then you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Let me introduce you to Petra's Wealth Planner, a personal financial planning and advisory service for individuals who desire to achieve their dreams. With Wealth Planner, a trained individual sits with you and develops a financial plan based on your unique needs and recommends the appropriate financial investment to attain your goals. What you need to do is to contact Petra for a planning session, and an advisor is going to call you to introduce him or herself and get to know you better and understand your current position and what your desires are. Then your goals are clearly outlined and a financial plan is developed based on your unique situation. Your advisor will also make some savings and investment recommendations to you to consider in executing the plan. Remember,
Hello and welcome back to the Petra Members Conference Scheme 2022, where we get to have an update or an overview of the previous year's financial performance. Just before we went on our break, we heard from our trustees who have given us a fair idea of our performance from last year. And so at this juncture, we're back in the studio, and I have here with me two handsome and smart-looking gentlemen. They're coming from the B&A Chartered Accountants, yes, and they are in the persons of Ebenezer Bachanate and Maxwell Kujo. They're here to give us an opinion of the financial accounts of the scheme from the year 2021. So who do I start with, gentlemen? All right, so rightly said, that is Ebenezer Bachana. Hi, Ebenezer, you're welcome to the studios. Ready to hear from you.
Thank you very much.
Most welcome.
With the presentation of the audited financial statements, may I indulge you to look at pages 13 to 16 of the audited financial statements, where we have our independent auditor's report. With the permission of the chairman, I will skip the section that relates to the trustee's responsibility and the auditor's responsibility. With your permission, please, I take our auditor's report for the year ended 31st December 2021 for Petra Advantage Pension Scheme. Independent auditor's report to the members of Petra Advantage Pension Scheme for the year ended 31st December 2021. Report on the audit of the scheme's financial statements. We have audited the financial statements of Petra Advantage Pension Scheme for the year ended 31st December 2021. The audited financial statements of the scheme from pages 16 from pages 13 to 16 comprise the statement of net assets available for benefits, statement of changes in net assets available for benefits, statement of movements in net assets available for benefits, the statement of cash flows for the year then ended, and the notes to the financial statements, which include summary of significant accounting policies. Opinion on the scheme's financial statements. In our opinion, the scheme financial statements audited by RES presents fairly and in all material respects the statement of net assets available for benefits of the Petra Advantage Pension Scheme as of 31st December 2021 and of the disposition of its assets and liabilities as at the date other than the liabilities to pay benefits after year end. The cash flow for the year then ended in accordance with international financial reporting standards and in the manner required by the trust deed of the scheme, the National Pensions Act 2008, Act 766, as amended by the National Pensions Act 2014, Act 883, and the Occupational and Personal Pensions General Regulations 2011, LI 1990. The basis of our opinion. We conducted our audit in accordance with International Standards on Auditing, ISAs. Our responsibilities under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibilities of the audit of the scheme's financial statements section of our report. We are independent of the scheme in accordance with the International Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants, including International Independent Standards, the code, issued by International Ethics Standards Board for Accountants, IESBA code, together with ethical requirements that are relevant to our audit of the financial statements. We have fulfilled our other responsibilities under those ethical requirements. We believe that the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. Key audit matters. Key audit matters are those matters that, in our professional judgment, were of most significance in our audit of the financial statements for the current period. These matters were addressed in the context of our audit of the financial statements as a whole, and informing our opinion thereon. We do not provide a separate evidence to support such transactions. We have determined the following matters as key audit matters. Impairment allowance on investments receivable. Included in accounts receivable is an amount of 1,127,376 due from Enderdale Properties PLC relating to matured investments, not received as at the reporting dates. We consider this as a key audit matter due to the significant amounts outstanding and the uncertainty in the recoverability of these matured investments. How we have addressed this matter. We have reviewed the adequacy of the impairment on the investment held with Enderdale Property PLC and performed the computation to verify the figures stated therein, providing assurance that the impaired amounts are accurately computed. We have also reviewed the disclosures in the notes to the financial statements to be fairly satisfactorily based on our professional judgment and the assumptions used by management in their computation of the impairment. Page 16 to conclude our auditor's report. Report on other legal and regulatory requirements. The trust deed dated 15th April 2012 and the National Pensions Act require that in carrying out our audit, we consider and report on the matters stated therein. We confirm that the scheme has generally complied with the relevant regulatory requirements. The trustees have performed their duties under the trust deed, and the scheme's investment objectives and other requirements under the National Pensions Act 2008, Act 766, as amended by the National Pensions Act 2014, Act 883, have been complied with. We are independent of the scheme we audited pursuant to Section 143 of the Companies Act 2019, Act 992. Furthermore, the scheme complied with the requirements of the National Pensions Act 2008, Act 766, as amended by National Pensions Act 2014, Act 883. The engagement partner on the audit resulting in this independent auditor's report is Ebenezer Bacha Nakote, with practicing number ICAGP 1361, signed on behalf of BNA Chartered Accountants, dated 28th April 2022. Mr. Chairman, I'm done with the report, and thank you.
For thanking us. That was a very detailed and exhaustive report. Thank you so much, Mr. Ebenezer Bacha Nakote of the BNA Chartered Accountant. Indeed, you are safe with us at Petra because, as he rightly indicated in his report, the scheme has satisfied all the necessary regulatory requirements. All right, and on that note, I would like to move to the colleague. All right, okay. So I believe that Mr. Ebenezer Bacha Nakote has exhausted and summarized accordingly everything that the BNA accountant has for us. It is an interactive session, and so our cherished customers and all stakeholders who are with us, joining via Zoom, via Facebook, and via YouTube, please do well to submit your queries, your comments, and your submissions, and in the right time, they will be addressed accordingly. Thank you so much for your submission. All right, at this juncture, I would like us to pause for a commercial break, and then we will be back with our next presentation from Yvonne Bolinga. Please, let's all sit back, relax, and keep our expectations ongoing. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Goals, dreams, aspirations. We all have them, and they are the reasons why we save and invest, aren't they? But are you saving right? Because if you're not, then you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Let me introduce you to Petra's Wealth Planner, a personal financial planning and advisory service for individuals who desire to achieve their dreams. With Wealth Planner, a trained individual sits with you and develops a financial plan based on your unique needs and recommends the appropriate financial investment to attain your goals. What you need to do is to contact Petra for a planning session, and an advisor is going to call you to introduce him or herself and get to know you better and understand your current position and what your desires are. Then your goals are clearly outlined and a financial plan is developed based on your unique situation. Your advisor will also make some savings and investment recommendations to you to consider in executing the plan. Remember, the right execution is what leads to achieving your goals. That is why your advisor will keep tabs on your plan and provide ongoing advice throughout the execution until your goals are achieved. So, what are you waiting for? Call us on 0242 435 037 or send us a DM on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at Petra on social, and let's get started. Petra, achieve more.
Running payroll can be a strenuous task, so the last thing you want is an extra lengthy process to validate schedules and then make payments, only to be told the payment couldn't be identified or assigned to your staff. But validating schedules and payments for your staff's pension contributions shouldn't be that stressful. With Petra's self-service schedule validation, you can validate your monthly schedules with a few clicks right from the comfort of your seat in less than 3 minutes. It's so simple. Here is what you have to do. 1. Open your browser and visit members.petratrust.com. Enter your login credentials and then select Manage Employer and validate. 2. To upload your schedule for validation. 3. After a successful validation, a report and payment advice will be sent to your email address. 4. Use the schedule ID on the payment advice as the bank account number when making payments at the bank, or as the reference if you are making payments via bank transfer. That's it. So simple. Please remember that every validator schedule will have a unique schedule ID, which will start with SI with a few other characters. Without this ID, the bank cannot accept your payments. So always look out for the unique schedule ID on the payment advice for payments. Experience convenience. If you require any assistance, click on the chat feature on our members portal or contact our client services team on phone at 024-243-5037 extension 4. Email clientservices@petratrust.com or contact your relationship manager. Petra, achieve more.
It's possible to achieve your financial goals. However, finding the right solution for your financial goals can be complicated. From finding the right investment to managing all your accounts with different providers or being able to fully track your transactions. So, we thought of making it simple for you. Whatever your goal may be, the Achieve app gives you the right support system to get you there. It provides you with easy access to the right financial products you need to realize your goals. The sign-up process is simple and without any stress. You're also able to grow your savings and investment with the DigiSave account. You can also monitor your transactions effectively. So, download the app now and do more with your cash.
All righty, welcome back from that commercial break, and we're back into business. Still, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, cherished customers and stakeholders of Petra, you're most welcome if you're joining us, especially to the Petra Members Conference Scheme 2022. Right now, I have here with me in the studios our beautiful Yvonne Bolinga from management. She's going to do a presentation on the scheme's investment strategy, performance, and outlook. Please, let's receive Yvonne. Yvonne, how are you today?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you too?
I'm excellent, thank you. All right, so over to you.
Thank you very much, Kylie, for the warm introduction. As she mentioned, my name is Yvonne Buliga, and I head the portfolio management team at Petra. Our primary responsibility is to grow your money in the best way possible and by taking the least risk as we can when it comes to investing. I'm going to take you through the scheme's performance for 2021. So in 2021, the Petra Advantage Pension Scheme grew by about 30% to end the year at a value of 1.2 billion Ghana cedis. Net flows, which is basically the difference between our contribution inflows and redemption payments, represented about 10% of this value. The scheme charges 2% as its fee for management, and this fee is spread and shared among the regulator, the fund manager, the custodian, and the administrator. The scheme continued to remain compliant throughout the year 2021. In September 2021, the regulator outlawed new guidelines to guide the investment of pension funds, and as part of it was an increase in the maximum allocation limits for the Government of Ghana assets class, the local governments, and the alternative investment assets classes. The scheme continues to remain largely conservative. As we can see, it's largely exposed to securities in the Government of Ghana asset class and the local government assets class. The scheme had no active allocations to the alternative investment assets class during the year. The Petra Advantage Pension Scheme closed the year with a net return of 16.37%. in a bid to continue to protect scheme member funds. Focus was placed on investing in less risky assets while not compromising on the returns of the scheme. As a result of that, funds were moved from the fixed deposits and the corporate bond asset classes to the collective investment schemes and the local government and statutory agency asset classes. Our exposure to the Government of Ghana asset class and equity asset class we maintain them broadly, despite the increase in the maximum allocation for the government securities asset class to 75% from 60%. And this was to position the schemes to benefit from the high interest rate environment that we currently find ourselves in. Looking ahead, we believe that the schemes have been well diversified to get ahead of the curve as well as to maximize the returns for every scheme member. Thank you very much for trusting us.
Thank you very much also for keeping our pensions investment safe. We're very grateful, Yvonne, for this very insightful presentation.
Thank you very
All
much.
right. So that was Yvonne Bulinga from Portfolio Management in Petra. At this juncture, we would go for one more break, and to join us next will be another presentation. Sorry, will be our auditors to give us another opinion of POPs. Let's sit back and enjoy.
Running payroll can be a strenuous task, so the last thing you want is an extra lengthy process to validate schedules and then make payment, only to be told the payment couldn't be identified or assigned to your staff. But validating schedules and payments for your staff's pension contributions shouldn't be that stressful. With Petra's self-service schedule validation, you can validate your monthly schedules with a few clicks right from the comfort of your seat in less than 3 minutes. It's so simple. Here is what you have to do. 1. Open your browser and visit members.petratrust.com. Enter your login credentials and then select Manage Employer and Validate. 2. To upload your schedule for validation. 3. After a successful validation, a report and payment advice will be sent to your email address. 4. Use the schedule ID on the payment advice as the bank account number when making payment at the bank, or as the reference if you are making payment via bank transfer. That's it. So simple. Please remember that every validator schedule will have a unique schedule ID, which will start with SI with a few other characters. Without this ID, the bank cannot accept your payments. So always look out for the unique schedule ID on the payment advice for payments. Experience convenience. If you require any assistance, click on the chat feature on our members portal or contact our client services team on phone at 024-243-5037 extension 4. Email clientservices@petratrust.com or contact your relationship manager. Petra, achieve more.
Well, you're welcome. Indeed, with Petra, you can achieve more. We're back in the studios, and with me right now, I have two auditors coming from John Kay. To my immediate right, we have Gilbert Lomofio, and then next to him is Samuel Annan. You're welcome, gentlemen.
Very much.
All right, so they are here to give us an opinion of the financial performance, of the financial accounts of the scheme of the year 2021. So we'll hear from Gilbert first.
Thank you very much, Madam. So I now proceed to read the independent auditor's report to the members of the Petra Opportunity Pension Scheme. And I'll start with the opinion. We have audited the accompanying financial statement of Petra Opportunity Pension Scheme, which comprise the statement of net assets available for benefit at 31st December 2021, the statement of changes in net assets available for benefit, the statement of movement in net assets available for benefit, and the statement of cash flows for the year then ended, a note to the financial statement, which include a summary of significant accounting policies, another explanatory note as set out on pages 19 to 29 of the financial statement and report. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statement gives a true and fair view of the financial transactions of the Petra Opportunity Pension Scheme at 31st December 2021 and of the scheme's financial performance and its cash flows for the year then ended, in accordance with international financial reporting standards and the requirements of the National Pensions Act 2008 as 766, as amended, and the Occupational and Personal Pension General Regulations 2011 LI 1990. Basis of opinion. We conducted our audit in accordance with international standards on auditing. Our responsibilities under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibilities for the audit of the financial statement section of our report. We are independent of the scheme in accordance with International Ethics Standards Board for Accountants, Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants, and we have fulfilled our other ethical responsibilities in accordance with the code. We believe that the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. Key audit matters. Key audit matters are those matters that, in our professional judgment, were of most significance in the audit of the financial statement for the year ended 31st December 2021. These matters were addressed in the context of the audit of the financial statement as a whole and informing our opinion thereon, and we do not provide a separate opinion on these matters. We have determined the following as key audit matters. The first one is impairment allowance on trade receivable. The scheme had an amount of 4,854,223 in trade receivables under Note 9, due from Consolidated Bank Ghana Limited, Produce Buying Company Limited, and Edinburgh Properties PLC. This constitutes mature securities, including interest, which could not be retrieved. The recoverability of these funds is in doubt. Hence, trustees' decision to recognize an impairment allowance to reflect this uncertainty. Given the significance of the trade receivables amount and judgment by the trustee in estimating the impairment allowance amount, we consider impairment allowance on the trade receivable as a key audit matter. How the matter was addressed in our audit. Our audit procedures included the following. Perform third-party confirmation to verify the existence and accuracy of the amount of trade receivable. We also reviewed related correspondence and recomputed the amount receivable. We assessed the reasonability of trustees' judgment and assumption for the impairment allowance rate. We recalculated the amount of the impairment allowance to verify its numerical accuracy. We evaluated the adequacy of disclosures for impairment allowance in accordance with requirements of IFRS 9 and reviewed the accounting policies and notes in relation to trade and other receivables. The second issue under the key audit matter is income recognition. Income is an important measure of performance and represents a material item in the scheme statement of changes in net assets available for benefit. The scheme generates income from investment of members' funds. Income arises from interest that accrue on these investments and coupons or interest that are received on running, matured, and terminated investment. Given that some of the scheme's assets will mature beyond 31st December 2021, this cutoff date is significant to ensure that amounts that will accrue after this date are not recognized as income in the current financial statement. In this regard, we consider income recognition as a key audit matter. How the matter was addressed in our audit. Our audit procedures included the following. 1. We reviewed the design and implementation of scheme's income recognition procedure to determine the adequacy of controls over the scheme's investment valuation procedure and income recognition. 2. For a sample of significant investment, we obtained evidence of their existence, their particulars, and we computed the income recognized on this investment to verify their accuracy. And lastly, we evaluated the adequacy of the accounting policies and disclosures on income recognized in the scheme statement of changes in net assets available for benefit. The third issue is impact of COVID-19. The COVID-19 pandemic had a significant impact on trustees' assumptions and judgment of the financial statement. The pandemic led to significant economic, accounting, and regulatory development that affected the operations of the scheme during 2021. This development also affected our overall approach to the audit. We therefore consider the impact of COVID-19 as a key audit matter. How the matter was addressed. Our audit procedures included the following. 1. We reviewed policies and directives from Government of Ghana and the National Pensions Regulatory Authority applicable to the operations of the scheme to confirm compliance. We reviewed the credit risk assessment of the scheme's assets as a result of COVID-19 and reviewed the adequacy of impairment provisions made for the scheme's assets. We performed procedures to ensure that income is not recognized on the scheme's assets that are impaired as a result of COVID-19. Report on other information. Management is responsible for the other information. The other information comprises report of the trustees. Our opinion on financial statement does not cover the other information, and we do not express any form of assurance conclusion thereon. In connection with our audit of the financial statement, our responsibility is to read the other information, and in so doing, consider whether other information is materially inconsistent with the financial statement or our knowledge obtained in the audit, or otherwise appears to be misstated. If based on the work we have performed, we conclude that there is a material misstatement of this other information, we are required to report this fact. We have determined that there is nothing to report in this regard. Now, I'd like to skip the trustees' responsibilities for the financial statement, as well as those of the auditor for the financial statement, and read to you the report on other legal and regulatory requirements. Compliance with the requirements of the National Pensions Act 2008 Act 766, the National Pensions Amendment Act 2014 Act 883, and the Occupational and Personal Pension General Regulations 2011 LI 1990. We have obtained all information and explanations which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purpose of our audit. In our opinion, proper accounting records have been kept, and the trustees of the scheme have fully complied with the prohibited investment practices stated under Section 35 of the Occupational and Personal Pension General Regulations 2011 LI 1990. And all other requirements under the National Pensions Act 2008 Act 766 and the National Pensions Amendment Act 2014 Act 883, so far as appears from my examination of those books. The engagement partner on the audit resulting in this independent auditor's report is Gilbert Adetelo-Mofiu, whose practice number is ICAG/P/1417, and he signed for and on behalf of John K. and Co., which practice number is ICAG/F/2022/128. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you also very much for giving us this opinion. Rightly said from Gilbert Lomofio, Petra has also complied and performed all its regulatory requirements. Thereby, they've received all the information that are required, and then all accounts, records, and information have also been diligently and well kept. So once again, we are safe. All Petra customers and stakeholders are safe. Thank you so much, Mr. Gilbert Lomofio, and also Samuel Anand coming from John K. Would now take a brief commercial break, and Yvonne Bullinger will be here once again to give us another overview of POPS, Petra Opportunity Pension Scheme. Thank you.
Goals, dreams, aspirations. We all have them, and they're the reasons why we save and invest, aren't they? But are you saving right? Because if you're not, then you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Let me introduce you to Petra's Wealth Planner, a personal financial planning and advisory service for individuals who desire to achieve their dreams. With Wealth Planner, a trained individual sits with you and develops a financial plan based on your unique needs and recommends the appropriate financial investment to attain your goals. What you need to do is to contact Petra for a planning session, and an advisor is going to call you to introduce him or herself and get to know you better and understand your current position and what your desires are. Then your goals are clearly outlined and a financial plan is developed based on your unique situation. Your advisor will also make some savings and investment recommendations to you to consider. in executing the plan. Remember, the right execution is what leads to achieving your goals. That is why your advisor will keep tabs on your plan and provide ongoing advice throughout the execution until your goals are achieved. So, what are you waiting for? Call us on 0242 435 037 or send us a DM on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at Petra on social, and let's get started. Petra, achieve more.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our cherished customers and stakeholders of Petra joining us from all over the world via Zoom, via YouTube, via Facebook, you're welcome once again from that commercial break. We just heard from our auditors from John K, who rightly indicated that Petra has performed all its regulatory requirements, and as such, we are safe as customers and stakeholders of the scheme. Once again, we have the beautiful Yvonne Bulinga from management in the studio, and she's also going to give for another time the strategy and outlook of Petra Opportunity Pension Scheme. Hi, Yvonne.
Hi, Carrie.
Yes, Yvonne, before you even give your overview, I mean, what does your day look like in Petra?
That's a very interesting question. It involves a lot of analysis, a lot of stakeholder engagement, and a lot of thinking about our scheme members.
All right, so Yvonne does all the thinking about you guys. All right, Yvonne, over to you.
Thank you so much, Carrie. So I'm here to take us through the Petra Opportunity Pension Scheme. During the year 2021, the scheme grew by about 39% to end the year at a value of 922 million. Net flows represented about 15% of this end value of 922 million. The scheme also incurs a charge of 2% for the management of its assets, which is spread and shared among the fund manager, the custodian, the administrator, and the regulator. In 2021, as mentioned earlier, we had the outdoor of our new guidelines, and similarly, the scheme remained compliant throughout the year. Yes, we had the same maximum allocation limits increasing for the Government of Ghana asset class, the local government and statutory agency, and the alternative investment asset class as well during the year. The scheme also remains largely conservative. You can see that a huge chunk of it is sitting with our Government of Ghana asset class and our local government and statutory agency asset class as well. For the Petra Opportunity Pension Scheme, it closed the year with a net return of 16.34%. And as I mentioned earlier, we are trying very hard to ensure the safety of our scheme members and their funds. So the emphasis was placed on less risky assets, and we did not compromise on return at all. And this saw us similarly moving funds, reallocating funds from the fixed deposit assets class to our collective investment assets class, and also reallocating from the corporate bond assets class to our local government and statutory agency assets class as well. The exposures for the Government of Ghana securities, we also did not exceed or max out on the maximum allocation limits, and that was because we wanted to better position the Petra Opportunity Pension Scheme to also benefit from this high interest rate environment. So what that means is that this year like this, given that we have more room to do Government of Ghana, it will be easier for us to actually reconstitute and rebalance the portfolio to reflect the interest rates that we are seeing on the market currently. So that's part of the strategy for this year. And once again, the Petra Opportunity Pension Scheme has been well diversified to continue to stay its course ahead of the curve and to maximize returns for all of its scheme members. Thank you so much for your confidence in us.
Thank you also so much for managing our portfolio very well. Yes, Yvonne, you made mention earlier that the scheme grew by 34%.
39%.
39%. Yes, that's quite significant.
Yes.
If I should put it that way. What was done differently?
It's inside secrets. Yeah, it was a strategy. So you notice that we don't just look at what's going to happen for the year. We also look at what's going to happen in the following or the subsequent year, and try to always max out on the return or the overall objective that we have for the scheme. But in maximizing this, we don't just focus on only returns, we look at safety as well, because you notice that if you actually invest in securities that may not be safe enough, it ends up actually eroding the returns that you have. So it's part of the different measures and strategies that we actually take in my team to ensure this works, it happens for everyone.
Okay, so the same strategies is being used
Yes.
this year and beyond. Okay, very, very, very great, very great. We're happy that you've inspired more confidence in us.
Good.
And I'm sure that we'll hear more from our customers and stakeholders.
Definitely.
Yes, and so at the right time, we'll invite you again, Yvonne, to address questions and queries if there need be. All right, so thank you so much. That was Yvonne Bulinga from Management, Portfolio Management here at Petra, and she gave us an overview of the strategy and performance of the scheme that is in 2021. So we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. Thank you, Yvonne.
Goals, dreams, aspirations. We all have them, and they are the reasons why we save and invest, aren't they? But are you saving right? Because if you're not, then you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Let me introduce you to Petra's Wealth Planner, a personal financial planning and advisory service for individuals who desire to achieve their dreams. With Wealth Planner, a trained individual sits with you and develops a financial plan based on your unique needs and recommends the appropriate financial investment to attain your goals. What you need to do is to contact Petra for a planning session, and an advisor is going to call you to introduce him or herself and get to know you better and understand your current position and what your desires are. Then your goals are clearly outlined and a financial plan is developed based on your unique situation. Your advisor will also make some savings and investment recommendations to you to consider in executing the plan. Remember, the right execution is what leads to achieving your goals. That is why your advisor will keep tabs on your plan and provide ongoing advice throughout the execution until your goals are achieved. So, what are you waiting for? Call us on 0242 435 037 or send us a DM on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at Petra on social, and let's get started. Petra. Goals, dreams, aspirations. We all have them, and they are the reasons why we save and invest, aren't they? But are you saving right? Because if you're not, then you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Let me introduce you to Petra's Wealth Planner, a personal financial planning and advisory service for individuals who desire to achieve their dreams. With Wealth Planner, a trained individual sits with you and develops a financial plan based on your unique needs and recommends the appropriate financial investment to attain your goals. What you need to do is to contact Petra for a planning session, and an advisor is going to call you to introduce him or herself and get to know you better and understand your current position and what your desires are. Then your goals are clearly outlined and a financial plan is developed based on your unique situation. Your advisor will also make some savings and investment recommendations to you to consider in executing the plan. Remember, the right execution is what leads to achieving your goals. That is why your advisor will keep tabs on your plan and provide ongoing advice throughout the execution until your goals are achieved. So, what are you waiting for? Call us on 0242 435 037 or send us a DM on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at Petra on social, and let's get started. Petra, achieve more.
Running payroll.
Welcome back to the studios of Petra here at Airport in Accra, Ghana. This is the Petra Members Conference Scheme 2022, where we get to hear reports and presentations of the companies or the schemes for performance in the previous financial year. We've heard so far from our trustees, we've heard from auditors, we've heard from portfolio management, and so far so good. We are assured that Petra is on the right path and our schemes and investments and our pensions are safe with Petra. And because of that, we are definitely going to achieve more. Right here, seated next to me in the studios, I have Mr. David Tete Ame Abe. Mr. David Tete Ame Abe. He's the Deputy CEO of the National Pensions Regulatory Authority here in Ghana, NPRA. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, NPRA, as we all know, is the regulator of both public and private pensions in Ghana. They are the security and police of all pensions management in the country. So, Mr. Tete Abe, yes. Tete Ame Abe, yes. I have to include that.
Yeah,
I'd like to know what is the atmosphere of pensions in Ghana? How are pensions generally performing in Ghana?
Okay. Thank you very much. And first of all, Minto Maha Gamefe Afi. Mene Osume Yomowo. Ni Kayafi Shenege. Waha Afi. Afi aye banina. What's Afi bene Petra funded what Tahi Biene. Eshure Fenegen Ninumo Chofele Ajo contributors ni Kameshka Ebago Petra ni MPR le Unumaha wala. No manyama. Thank you very much. And I believe that the pension landscape in Ghana is stable. It is stable because of the framework that we have put in place. You know, when it comes to pension, there is a trustee, there is a fund manager, and then there's a custodian. Yeah. And we have said that these three must be independent of each other so that you avoid related party transactions and conflict of interest management. Yeah. So we believe that with that framework, it is a risk management framework in itself. So if you ask about the stability, that is all right. But given the topic that you invited me here, we have a revised investment guidelines. And like you said, we are the police and we are the regulators of pension funds. And in the investment guidelines, we introduce certain things that we believe that will safeguard the assets of the scheme. So that when a member who is watching us goes on retirement, the benefit that is available for distribution will be safe. Sure. So we introduce something we call constituent funds. Now, what do we mean by constituent funds? Because your topic was under the new investment guidelines, understanding constituent funds. Yeah. And your letter invited me to come and explain constituent funds. But as a policy maker, the reason why we introduce a constituent fund is that we realize that pension is age related. The guy goes on retirement and he's paid pension. So it's basically an insurance scheme that you put in place to alleviate old age poverty. Okay. Because when the guy retires, we believe that he's vulnerable. Yeah. So he's no longer any income because he's aged and he's not able to do the things he could have done when he was young. And the law starts from 15. So from 15 years, you can contribute to 60. So we realized that the investment portfolios, they were not taking the age profile of the contributors into consideration. Yeah. So look at a scheme where there are 15-year-olds, there are 40-year-olds, there are 59-year-olds, there are 60-year-olds. And then we are investing the portfolio as if everybody is going on retirement. No. So you see some people are buying treasury bills, some people. So you realize that the investment portfolio is not reflecting the age profile. So the constituent funds idea came so that the demographics inherent in your membership data is reflecting in your investment decision-making process. So we give certain guidelines as far as the funds are concerned. So, for example, we said for Fund 1, which we call the moderately aggressive portfolio, we said that if you profile your members, the age profile, and you realize that There are those who are between the age of 15 years to 44 years. Put them in a moderately aggressive portfolio, where in the investment guidelines, we also gave certain flaws of the type of investment, because this is a very young age profile, 15 to 44.
Exactly.
So that put them, I'm not saying very aggressive, but we call it moderately aggressive portfolio. Now, then when you come to the next class of people, 45 to 54 years, we say make it moderately conservative portfolio. Why? Because these people are nearer to retirement. Now, then when you come to the conservative portfolio, we are talking about 55 to 60. And if you bear with me, in SNIT, you can decide to retire at 55 and take a reduced pension, voluntary retirement. So when you have a portfolio where the age profile of your contributors are significant in this age bracket, then we are saying that the reflection of the portfolio structure that we want to see when you report to us should be moderate, should be what? Conservative, like treasury bills and all those kind of, because sooner than later you will be liquidating these investment to pay benefit. And then we also talked about aggressive portfolio, which we said that it should be done through request. So the aggressive portfolio also, we spoke about the various kind of asset classes that should go there. So these are the various classes that we put when we talk about the constituent fund, just that we want the investment decision making to reflect the demographics, the age profile of the contributors that you have in your scheme. Because after all, pension is about age. Retirement has an age. And therefore, it must reflect in. So that, look, right now, if you've not done the portfolio allocation right, and let's say you have people going on retirement, and you need to liquidate your investment, because of the current high yield on the portfolio, or the high yield in the market, even to discount to sell your securities, you sell them at deep discount. But if you have taken those demographics into consideration, you realize that even long before this high interest rate and all those ones, you have portfolios that you have earmarked that, look, I have these people going to retirement in 5 years, I have these people going to retirement in 10 years. It will reflect the decision. Because you see, at the end of the day, if somebody retires at 60 and you are not able to pay his benefit, it can cause a run on your fund. Because he will have a friend, he will have a son, because the thing starts from 15. So his son is working and he's 35. The father is 60, retiring. The uncle is 44 and things. Then he is not being able to be paid. Do you know what will happen? He will tell the son, hey, she obey. You see that they will come and withdraw. And all those things. So we are very, very serious with this constraint fund that let us restructure. So for example, you have the current portfolio and you've not restructured it. What we are suggesting is that, you see, when you value the fund, you allocate the benefit to the members. So their contribution plus accrued interest will be the accrued benefit per each member. Okay. Now, so the value of your portfolio, the entire portfolio, should be equivalent to the sum of all the members' accrued benefit at any valuation point. Okay. Now, what we are saying that all these members, you can rank them according to their age, from 15 to 60. Then you can look at how much of each age group is a percentage of your total area. Okay. So if you rank Koju Mensah 15, Ama 30, 45, you see the ranking. Okay. So then you can say that, okay, when I look at the 15 to 44-year-old in my portfolio, out of 100,000, 20,000 is for these people. Okay. When I look at the people within the 45 to 54, 30,000. Then the rest. So you can look at the portfolio, because this is a new thing we brought.
Yeah.
And we are trying to carry everybody along.
Okay, not to catch you, but looking at the first category, that is the moderately aggressive, age 15 years ongoing, how effective do you think that will be in our part of the world? Because in age 15, you are likely to be in senior high school. How much are you making to save? Even with the level of awareness, how effective is that going to be?
You know,
yes, in education.
When the law was structured, there are times, right now with free SHS, it is becoming compulsory that at age 15 should be in school.
Sure.
But when this law was structured, there were people who were working in the informal sector.
Okay.
All right? So we are saying that if you get employed a 15-year-old in maybe sales or any other vocation, and he start to earn income, start contributing to social security, it will also surprise you to know that recently we also have a law for house helps.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Ministry of Employment and Labor Relations. They don't play with it. Now, even your house help, if you take a house help and you start to employ, there's employer-employee relations, start paying.
Okay.
All right? And it helps. Don't forget that when it comes to investment, the longer and consistent beats anything.
Yeah.
You see, because that is how wealth is created. Wealth is not created by buga buga. You must have a sustainable, consistent way of putting money away. Definitely. And that is the idea about pension, insurance, all the financial security products. These are the ways you do it. So you start early. You know, my son is in the final year in the university. He's 22.
Okay.
When he comes, and national service, okay, immediately he gets job at 23, he have to start.
He has to start. Yeah.
He has to start paying, registering for SNIT and paying. Now he has even registered for SNIT already as a student. So he have a student normal as a student.
Wow. I dare say that maybe your son may be fortunate because you are in the industry, and so that kind of advice or information would be easier to get to him. But I know a hairdresser where I usually make my hair. She's been working for a while. She makes a lot of money. She is very great at her profession. She didn't know, she never knew that she has to contribute to SNIT. And she's about 28 years.
Okay. So, like we always say, this is a responsibility for all of us because this is our industry.
Yeah.
Don't forget that as a regulator, I am the third line of defense. But for a company like Petra, that's their primary business. Exactly. Because what you are talking about, your hairdresser, it's about enrollment. She had to be enrolled onto a scheme. I don't enroll people onto a scheme. Okay. I go around sensitizing. Okay. So at times, the trustees also go out to sensitize. But don't forget that the trustee sensitization is a business. It's a business drive to enroll people. Definitely. So when I'm going on sensitization like that, I carry trustees along. Okay. But the trustees can also do their own sensitization to enroll people onto their bureaus, like Petra have done. Today we are here with the AGM, looking at these nice people on the Osu Omowodi. Because Osu Omowodi, I usually don't work. If not because of Kofi, I wouldn't have been here.
We are celebrating.
Yeah, so I'm happy to take the opportunity to greet all Tete everywhere.
Thank you. We are very grateful. We are very grateful for taking time of your busy Commonwealth schedule and joining us as well. So, Mr. Ameya Bay Tete Ameya, sorry. Would you have any further remarks?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
To share.
I mean, I just want to encourage Petra on this initiative. I'm really impressed with the production and the effort that Petra is putting in place of reaching all the contributors. Look, the authority has been championing this AGM that trustees need to engage their contributors. That is the only way we can bring confidence into the game. It's not only MPRA who should be doing it. As I speak, I've gone to Tamale, just marketplaces and things, sensitizing people. But even the existing ones you have in the scheme, I think they complain that the numbers are plenty and things. But coming here today and looking at Petra deploying technology to reach these people, I think I'm very impressed and I'm very happy to see. And then the contributors just know that Petra is reaching out to you to engage. Don't hesitate to ask your questions. I saw some of them. I started with Zoom from the office. Wow. And then when I saw the setup, I decided to come. I wanted to do it because I have to go to my work. You understand? So I wanted to do it online. But when I saw the setup, I realized that I have to come and do it. So the contributors should not take this opportunity for granted. They need to. I heard the accountant reading the report. I also listened to Chris also giving the opening remarks. And it seems the fund is doing well. So I want to encourage you, as you are out there, you have to play a significant role. My CEO, Mr. Ifoda Takofi, good morning for giving me this opportunity, always says that the best regulator is you, the contributor. He said the best regulator is you, the contributor. Because if your employer have not remitted your contributions, you need to know. Because you may be working in HR, you may be working as a finance officer. So don't sit down and think that Petra will come to your office and then fight your HR for you. You can come to the MPRA and report. You can whistle blow to us and we'll visit your employer. You can also tell your trustee. They can tell us we'll visit your employer. Don't take this opportunity that the government has brought to us with the new pension arrangement. Now we have moved from 17.5 in the past to 35. We've doubled the contribution. So join a tier 2 scheme like Petra and then a tier 3 scheme. I'm told that tomorrow is another one.
Yes, it is.
Join these new schemes and I can assure you that we are there to handle all your complaints. And we are there to also support the industry to grow. So I want to congratulate Petra again and congratulate all of you, the contributors. What's happening in AGM? It's again.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Tetea Meabe. He's the Deputy CEO of NPRA, National Pensions Regulatory Authority here in Ghana. As you can see, he's a very big man. And he's taking time off his busy schedule to be here with us here in the studios of Petra in Accra, Ghana. And as he rightly said, it's the best regulator is you, the contributor. And so as you're listening, as you're watching from Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, do well to take advantage of the very good opportunities that Petra is giving to you and the MPRA and government is also making available to us. Let's take our contributions seriously. Let's make sure that we keep the relationship going. It's a give and take affair. And so whenever we need to speak to our trustees, whenever we need to speak to MPRA, let's do the needful so that together we can grow pensions in Ghana in the right direction. Thank you so much, Mr. Tetea Meabe, for joining us in the studios. All right, at this juncture, we'll take one more commercial break and then we'll come back into the studios to have Judy Shinry and Kennedy Smith Arthur. All right, we'll be right back. Thank you.
Goals, dreams, aspirations. We all have them, and they are the reasons why we save and invest, aren't they? But are you saving right? Because if you're not, then you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Let me introduce you to Petra's Wealth Planner, a personal financial planning and advisory service for individuals who desire to achieve their dreams. With Wealth Planner, a trained individual sits with you and develops a financial plan based on your unique needs and recommends the appropriate financial investment to attain your goals. What you need to do is to contact Petra for a planning session, and an advisor is going to call you to introduce him or herself and get to know you better and understand your current position and what your desires are. Then your goals are clearly outlined and a financial plan is developed based on your unique situation. Your advisor will also make some savings and investment recommendations to you to consider in executing the plan. Remember, the right execution is what leads to achieving your goals. That is why your advisor will keep tabs on your plan and provide ongoing advice throughout the execution until your goals are achieved. So, what are you waiting for? Call us on 0242 435 037 or send us a DM on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at Petra on social, and let's get started. Petra.
It's possible to achieve your financial goals. However, finding the right solution for your financial goals can be complicated. From finding the right investment to managing all your accounts with different providers, or being able to fully track your transactions. So, we thought of making it simple for you. Whatever your goal may be, the Achieve app gives you the right support system to get you there. It provides you with easy access to the right financial products you need to realize your goals. The sign-up process is simple and without any stress. You're also able to grow your savings and investment with the DigiSave account. You can also monitor your transactions effectively. So, download the app now and do more with your cash.
Running payroll can be a strenuous task, so the last thing you want is an extra lengthy process to validate schedules and then make payments, only to be told the payment couldn't be identified or assigned to your staff. But validating schedules and payments for your staff's pension contributions shouldn't be that stressful. With Petra's self-service schedule validation, you can validate your monthly schedules with a few clicks right from the comfort of your seat in less than 3 minutes. It's so simple. Here is what you have to do. 1. Open your browser and visit members.petratrust.com. Enter your login credentials and then select Manage Employer and validate. 2. To upload your schedule for validation. 3. After a successful validation, a report and payment advice will be sent to your email address. 4. Use the schedule ID on the payment advice as the bank account number when making payment at the bank, or as the reference if you are making payment via bank transfer. That's it. So simple. Please remember that every validator schedule will have a unique schedule ID, which will start with SI with a few other characters. Without this ID, the bank cannot accept your payments. So always look out for the unique schedule ID on the payment advice for payments. Experience convenience. If you require any assistance, click on the chat feature on our members portal or contact our client services team on phone at 024-243-5037 extension 4. Email clientservices@petratrust.com or contact your relationship manager. Petra, achieve more.
Of all the opportunities Petra offers us. Yes, right here in the studio, I promised that we would have two very intelligent and great people from Petra, and indeed they are here with us. Mr. Kennedy Smith, yes, he is the head of relationship management here at Petra, and then also seated next to him, my immediate right, of course, is Judy Shinri. She is the head of customer service here at Petra as well. The last time I saw them was about a year ago, and they are looking amazing, I must say, doing a great job at Petra.
Same here too.
Okay, good to have you, lady and gentlemen.
Good to meet you again.
All right, so they're here to talk about Petra initiatives. Petra initiatives. They say ladies first, so I hear Petra has some very interesting initiatives like the pension back, the
pension back mortgage.
Mortgage, yes, yes,
and the ease loan.
Yes.
Thank you, Carly. Once again, I'm Judy. I lead the customer experience team here at Petra, and we are responsible for ensuring that our scheme members are excited whenever they engage with us here at Petra. Whether you are on our members portal, downloading your statements on your own, or you are contacting us at the contact center, you are excited on every interaction that you have with Petra. So like Carly mentioned, over the past 1 year, we've rolled out interesting initiatives like the Ease Mortgage and the Ease Loan to help you leverage opportunities available to you under this pensions regime as a scheme member. But to start with, I'd like to talk about some of the other initiatives we've done for some of our scheme members. I'll go right in and talk about the introduction of the virtual account numbers. So we are further committed to ensuring that our scheme members find it easy whenever they want to make payments into their account. And we, in turn, are able to identify the payments and process it smoothly so that it can reflect and you can see the growth in your funds. So to do that, we rolled out the virtual account number, which is a personalized account number for every scheme member. Every scheme member here under Savings Booster specifically has an individual account number that you make payments into. The benefit this brings to you as a Savings Booster account holder is that when you make a payment, it's easy for us to identify your payment, and then we can also in turn process it to reflect on your account. I would also talk about some other initiatives that we have introduced on our members portal and USSD platforms to empower our customers to complete transactions on their own 24/7 without the need to call our call center and wait in the queue to speak to an agent, okay? So on our members portal, you are able to download your statement, to use it for your visa application, to support your bank loan applications, and many other uses that you have for it. You are also able to track your investment to see the daily growth in your money on our platform. You see for each scheme, for those of you who are registered onto the Petra Advantage scheme and then Petra Opportunity Pension scheme as well, you are able to track the daily growth in your money. And who doesn't like that, to see their money grow? The next thing you're able to do is to update your contact information. So over time, you move to a new place, you realize that your postal address has changed, or you've moved on to another telephone number. In order to continue receiving alerts from Petra whenever there's a transaction in your account, it's important that you get in touch with us so that you can update your phone number, your email address, wherever you stay. So whenever we want to get in touch with you or send out information, you are able to receive it. You are also able to make payments into your Savings Booster account or even redeem also on our members portal. You don't need to come here to fill a form or talk to a customer service person. Anytime in the day, 24/7, you're able to go to the members portal, make a payment using your Visa card or even Momo directly into your account, and it will be very easy for us to identify such a payment as well and process it. You're also able to update your Ghana card details. Today, there is regulation that requires transactions to be linked to our Ghana card number, so you're able to go into our members portal without having to come to our office to provide the details of your Ghana card, and then we would update your account with this information. The next thing you're able to do is to initiate a chat with our customers. So you're on our online portal. We realize that you're having some challenges navigating the portal. Our agents are on standby to make sure that your experience is seamless and smooth. You have a wonderful time while completing things from the comfort of your homes and offices. I'll talk about our USSD code as well. And the exciting thing about the USSD code is whether you're using a smartphone or a YAM, you are able to dial *447 *70#. And if you're watching us and you haven't registered already, the time is now. Don't be let out of this great experience. Take your phones and dial *447 *70#. Register on the USSD short code so that you are able to do a host of things, including checking your balance. You can also request for a mini statement there. You're able to request for a call back from Petra. So you're trying to reach us, you have difficulty, just dial the short code, select the option to request for a call back, and we'll call you back within the shortest time possible. Customers are able to also select a product or service for more clarity. So we have information, brief information about our products and services. You are on tier 2, you want to get into a savings booster or our tier 3 products, just dial our short code, get a little information about the product. And if you want further engagement, you can contact us on our call center. Our customers are also equally able to update their Ghana card details on the short code. So in terms of a self-service, these are the additional things that we have done in the past year to make sure that the customers are constantly having a great experience with Petra. I'll move on to talk about Customer Service Week. So last year we rolled out an invitation to you to come and join us to celebrate you, our customers, the reasons why we exist. So some of you came out there, we gave out souvenirs to our customers, we gave out snack packs to refresh them for joining us to celebrate. It was a wonderful celebration. We'll be at it again this year in October. When you receive the invitation, we'll be glad to host you here. Please come and join us. We've put in place adequate measures to ensure that you are safe while you're on our premises and enjoying as we celebrate you. So these are some of the things, Kali.
Wow, that's totally impressive. And you kept rattling on and on. I thought you'd never end. We could actually give you the whole day.
It's for time. That's why I had to cut it short, but exactly. I have more to say.
Exactly. But indeed, these are very impressive initiatives that Petra has, brought on board. And how well are customers receiving these initiatives?
Oh, they are excited. We have tons of them, over 300,000 customers. We have more than 200,000 registered on our self-service platform. That's why I'm saying that if you're part of the remaining 30% who are not yet on, please take your phone now. Don't just listen. Don't wait any further. Register now and enjoy the service. It's free to register. There's nothing to pay. It's free to use. You don't pay anything when you request for a statement. When you need a statement for your visa application and you go onto our members portal to download one, we don't charge any fee for that.
And it's instant as well.
It's instant. Within 3 seconds or a second, you have your statement downloaded.
That's fantastic.
You print it out and you're on the go.
That's fantastic. You better take advantage of this. Yes. So besides that, I believe these platforms are all secure and safe.
They are secure and safe. They are fast and available every time, 24/7, and very stable. Yeah, we've put adequate, our technology team house have put in adequate measures, we being a financial institution, to make sure that your accounts are safe. Nobody can compromise it. Your responsibility then is to ensure that you don't compromise your usernames and passwords, not even to your closest friends. It's not the best thing to do. So let's desist from doing that. Always access it individually and keep your details safe to yourself.
That's great. That's really, really great. Thank you, Judy, for that.
Thank you, Carly.
Yes. So now over to you, Kennedy. I think in our chairman's remarks, he made mention of the fact that Petra onboarded about 29,000 new customers from the previous financial year. I stand to be corrected, but this is the figure I gathered. Would you say that some of these initiatives played a significant role to help us, on board or, acquire more customers?
Yeah, thank you very much, Carly. So once again, greetings to all our viewers and listeners and our cherished contributors. So yes, our success actually depends on how these customers are very obedient with the things that we request for. And there are some customers in there that are actually contact persons. When we say contact person, we're referring to the HR managers and officers and the finance directors, finance managers and officers, and accountants and all that. And one of the things that we pride ourselves with is their ability to respond to our request. And that success story of gathering over 25,000 onboarding new customers is actually as a result of their obedience to our call. And we'd like to use this opportunity to actually thank them. All right. I think when Chairman, the CEO of, the Deputy CEO of MPRA was talking, he spoke about the revised guidelines that have been put out there to ensure that the contributors' funds are further enhanced and secured based on their demographics, right? And I'd like to state that it's one of the things that as Petra, we've taken notice and we want to ensure that customers are onboarded to these new guidelines successfully. And our technology tools are that robust to the extent that it can help onboard these customers without any difficulty. And what we've been doing for the past 6 months is to engage with our in-house technology team to see how best we can set up these systems so that we'll be able to onboard these customers based on their age profile. One of the key things that is embedded in these guidelines is that we'll need our able contact persons as the HR managers and the finance managers to give us the data that has the age profiles of these customers, so that when we are ready in onboarding these customers to these constituent funds, it will be that easy. All right. And trust me, as we speak, we pride ourselves to be actually the best trustee with the best technology in the industry.
I can imagine that.
Exactly. And we know that when it comes with these onboarding, it will be so seamless without any trouble, right? So we encourage our customers to also bear with their contact person. If they are asking for their data, they shouldn't give new different age, different date of birth to Petra and different date of birth to Smith. It should be the same, all right, so that we'll run through a seamless process. One of the key initiatives that we've also employed for the past 10 years, one of the things we've learned and which makes us the best trustee on the market is our ability to give our individual customers that financial comfort. So we are known to be a pension house. That is great. But our interest is that you are not, for you to be able to save towards your pension, you need to be able to take care of your current needs, the current financial needs. And what we've been doing for the past 10 years is to figure out the best way to partner these customers or contributors so that they will be able to plan for that future. And we do that through our relationship management channel. All right. What we've tried to evolve is that for the past 3 years, we've instituted a retail outlet that is Petra Securities Limited. And we have advisors that provide financial advisory services to individual customers. And I must say that we instituted this model some time back, I think 6 years ago, where the relationship management team was actually doing the pilots in terms of going out there to partner with individuals through our staff education. And we thought it wise that it's good to have one-on-one with these customers. And that is how come we have to institute the retail outlet, to give people the financial advisors so that they'll be able to help them to plan for their future. So we have a financial planning and retirement planning model in place. It is not just training. It is more on partnership. We walk you through the best decisions that you can make today with the funds that you have. If you are taking a salary and you are running an SME business, or there are some snippets that you get for somewhere, we want to help you to plan how to utilize these funds so that you'll be able to save enough and also save for that future that you look out for. And we'd like to encourage all customers and all contributors to reach out to our customer service line to request for an advisor, and we'll definitely give them one. If you're a contact person, HR person, and finance manager or director, and you are watching us, we also like to encourage you to reach out to your relationship managers, and you can even send an email to clientservices@petraonline.com. Request for a planning with your entire staff, and we'll come in there with the expertise to be able to walk your employees through this financial planning model. It is very important, and we would like to, every employer should make it a mandate to have this session, and it will go a long way to improve the financial decisions by our contributors. And one of the initiatives that we also brought, I think last year when we met like this, we spoke about going through a brainstorming session in terms of how we can unearth the opportunities that the Pension Act gives to these contributors. And one of the things that I'm happy to announce to all our customers is that today, what is known as pension-backed loan we used to have what we called ease loan. It was a test phase. Today, it is fully in session. And as we speak, we've engaged some service providers, that's third-party banks, that have given us very competitive rates so that individuals who are within the Petra Opportunity Pension Scheme, let's take note that this applies to just the Tier 3, and that's the Petra Opportunity Pension Scheme. If you have a savings booster also, this you can actually take advantage of this, this product. So the pension-backed loan basically is to help you meet your immediate needs or the necessities today without touching your Tier 3 funds. That is the value proposition of the pension-backed loan. We know that everyone wants to, you have needs, right? You want to go to school, you want to pay bills, you want to pay your children's school fees and all that. We can't run away from that. What we just want to help you to do is that you do not to touch your tier 3 to suffer the 15% withholding tax. It will not be a good financial decision for you to touch your tier 3. So the pension-backed loan is to help you meet those needs, and also you safeguard your future funds,
so,
right?
Kennedy, if you're not touching it, how are you meeting the needs?
Good one. So, Carly, what is going to happen is that it will be, your pension funds will be used as a form of, let's say, cash collateral,
okay,
to be able to access the loan, right? So, if you have, let's say, 1,000 cedis, what it means is that you can access up to 800 Ghana cedis of what you have in your tier 3 balance, all right? And it comes with a very, very competitive rate, okay, very, very low rate. And if you do the math in terms of the returns you accrue, because the 1,000 that you have in your scheme will not be touched, it will still continue to accrue returns for you.
Oh, wow.
You get it? So if you do the math in terms of the returns you accrue as against even the interest you'll be paying, you realize that you are way better off, okay, all right, than touching your tier 3. Because when you touch your tier 3, you lose the interest rate, and you will still suffer the 15% withholding. That is double loss to you for taking that decision. And that is what we want to guide our contributors to not to do. So what we are doing is that we are offering a lot of lenders. Today we're having conversation with most of the prime banks, EcoBank and other banks. And we want to give people the opportunity to choose which bank you are comfortable with. Okay. And as we go along, we'll be sharing a lot more information on that. If this is your first time of hearing about the pension-backed loan, you can reach out to any of your relationship managers, or you can even reach out to our customer service at petraonline.com, and we will give you full information on that. You can also invite your the relationship managers, if you're a contact person, to come in and have a thorough conversation around this product. One of the things that I think you mentioned in your earlier submission was the pension-backed mortgage. It's one of the great things that this new Pension Act that was instituted in 2010 brings to we as members of this scheme. Basically, what the value proposition for this, let me say, provision in the Act is to help you have a house before you go on retirement. You don't need to wait till you grow old before you are looking for a land to purchase, right? And in our own small way as Petra, because we are the pace setters when it comes with these things, what we've tried to do is to engage with some vendors who provide these mortgage loans, and also give a very competitive rate. One of the things that it is very difficult to do in Ghana here is mortgage, and it's because most of the time it's dollarized. All right,
I was just about to say that most people try to run away from
exactly
mortgages.
Because it's dollar dominated heavily, yeah, and it's for obvious reasons, right? And one major thing also is the interest rates, and people shy away from mortgage because of that. That is what we are trying to do. We're trying to see how best we can mitigate those limitations, and that is why this product has been on the deck for Petra for a very long time. What we've done is that we've negotiated with these vendors to give a CD-denominated loan. I'm sure you are happy if you're watching. I'm sure you are very happy, and you like to clap for Petra. But I say that it's one of the unique feature of our pension-backed mortgage, a CD-denominated mortgage, and it's basically to help make it easy for every contributor in the Petra Opportunity Pension Scheme to be able to access this mortgage with ease. And it comes with other features. If you have, usually the debt service ratio is around 40 to 50%. What we'll do is that we'll walk you through the process and help you to be able to meet the debt service ratio, right? And also to make it very affordable for everybody to be able to take advantage of it. So today the pension-backed loan and the pension-backed mortgage have started, and I would like to encourage everyone to be able to take advantage of it. The last of the initiatives that we've deployed.
Sorry, Kennedy, just before you move to the next one, the CD-backed mortgage. Yes, what's her name? Yvonne, in her submission, she mentioned one of the strategies as, moving away from high risk investment assets
That's
to
true.
low risk ones, and that was one of the things that helped in the financial performance over the previous year. Wouldn't you say that might be perhaps a much more riskier venture for Petra or on Petra?
So this is a value added product. It's separate from the investment policies, right? So what Yvonne stated on was more on the investment policies and the strategies that we are employing, right? This one is a value proposition to the individual, right?
That's to our customers.
To the customers. So if you're a contributor to the scheme, what we are saying is that you need a house, you might need a land, or you're even building that you'd like to complete your house. Instead of you touching your tier 3, all right, the best decision that you can make is to take a mortgage now so that the process can be quicker for you. But you don't need to just take any mortgage. Take a mortgage that is very competitive on the market so that you will not lose your funds easily. Yeah. So I think because of time, let me just wrap up with the last initiative that we've introduced. So to all our contact persons, the accountants and the HR managers, as your cherished partner, what we've done is that we've instituted this product, this payroll software, which is supposed to help you to be able to run your payroll month on month. It comes with some basic features that can help you communicate well with your employees, where immediately you run your payroll, free SMS pay slips will be sent to your employees, so they don't need to come and bother you, all right? It also has automatic generated pension reports, that's your tier 2 report, your tier 1 report. You also have some GRA reports that can be generated for you, and also the SNET schedule that you have to spend time always to be doing it. This software will help you to be able to do that at ease.
Wow.
And also, it is error-free because I mentioned our robust technology tools. One of the things we take advantage of is to see how best we prevent errors on the side of our customers. So this payroll software comes with comfort in terms of running your payroll month on month. And guess what? It's absolutely free.
Wow.
All right? It doesn't come with any cost. So if you have an overhead cost in terms of payroll aligned in your budget, you can begin to cross it out once you pick the phone to call any of your relationship managers.
Sounds really exciting.
Exactly. So that we want to also save companies as employers some money. All right? Because the system is a bit tough. All right? That is why we're introducing this. And if you are an individual who's running your side business also, you can feel free to engage us as SMU. You can also use the payroll software to be able to pay the number of staff that you have, so that you don't need to incur any costs in running your payroll on month.
Wow.
Let me just
Sure, Judy.
It's not limited to just our current clients or people who are registered onto our schemes, right?
Exactly.
Any individual out there, if you are watching us, feel free, if you have use of the payroll software, to reach out to Petra and we'll set you up for free.
Wow, that's great. Indeed, they are very, very great initiatives from Petra. And trust me, seeing Kennedy and then Judy here together is like whenever you see relationship management, you see customer service, because he brings in and then she helps to manage the relationship and what have you. And so trust me, when they talk, whatever they say is really, really, really concise, precise, and very effective. So please do well to take advantage of all the initiatives that Petra is bringing on board to us. Last year, I remember that my mom went on pension and then she needed some quick fix. I contacted Yvonne and it was very seamless for that matter. And so trust them when they speak. Petra has great initiatives. Let's take advantage of them. Thank you so much, Yvonne. Sorry. Thank you so much, Judy Shinri. She is the head of customer experience or customer relationship. And then also Kennedy Smith. He is the head of relationship management. Right now, joining us again for the third time is Yvonne Bullinger, portfolio management at Petra. All right, Yvonne, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
So, all right, your colleagues just spoke about the Petra initiatives. What would you want to add to that?
I believe they've basically said it all, but what I can add to that is we are finding means and ways of making these different products and initiatives tools that people can be able to access. at a very easy and convenient price.
Okay, all right. That's great. That's great. Okay, so we've heard from them on the Petra initiatives. You out there who have joined us from the beginning to end from beginning to now, have submitted a lot of questions, yes, that you would want us to address or want us to have a look at. And so I'm going to have our wonderful people, answer or address these questions. So I'm going to start with Kennedy. He's the only gentleman in the middle, so I'll start with him. So the first one says that at what point can a member or a contributor use, okay, so the person has actually addressed it to Judy, so let me do justice to that, to Judy. At what point can a member or a contributor use his or her contributions as down payment for a mortgage?
So once you have accumulated sufficient funds and you're a member of the TSV scheme, there's clearance from the regulator. At any point in time at all, you can start the process because the provision is situated in the law. There's no minimum requirement where you have to, let's say, contribute for 6 months or 1 year before. Once you have the funds and it meets the requirements of your mortgage provider, we can start the conversation.
Okay, so once you have the funds, we can start the conversation. All right, next one goes to Ken. Can you set up a tier 3 for members?
Yes. So Petra can set up a tier 3 for members of every organization, whether individual or as a corporate entity. You can reach out to our business development team through the bizdev at petraonline.com, and we will set you up.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. The next one says the audit report. Is it internal or external? If external, who are your audit firms? Thanks. And this goes to Yvonne.
Yeah. Thank you very
the person
much.
missed out on a few. Yes.
Yes, thank you very much, Carly, for the question. So the audited reports are prepared by external auditors. And for the Petra Advantage Pension Scheme, the firm responsible for this activity is B&A Chartered Accountants. And for the Petra Opportunity Pension Scheme, the firm responsible is John K. & Co.
All right, so I believe your questions have been answered. Okay, the next one says, I basically wish to know what the length or years you can stay on the subscription before you be exempted from withdrawal tax. That's to Ken.
Okay, so the time period for exemption is 10 years of your first contribution. All right, and let me just be quick to add that if you started at a certain point, maybe from a different trustee, and you join Petra, all right, you need to show evidence of where your first contribution is, because we can't assume that. So they'll be able to calculate the period accordingly to be able to pay you without the tax.
Okay, all right, thank you, Ken. The next one goes to Judy, and it says that, please, if you withdraw your PF every 2 years, and you are deducted 15% every 2 years you draw, at the end of the 10th year, when withdrawing, will the 15% be deducted again?
That's an interesting question. To answer your question, Brantley, no, it wouldn't happen, provided the 10-year from your perspective starts from the date you made your first contribution, just as Ken has just explained. So earlier contributions will attract the tax, but the provision in the law, after 10 years, you will not pay. So to answer your question, no, you will not pay when you meet the 10-year tax exemption period as permitted by the law.
Okay, thank you so much. So the next one also goes to Yvonne. It says, what is the plan for those nearing retirement with the low interest affecting our investments?
Thank you very much for the question. So we understand that it's one of the considerations of any investor who's approaching the end of the horizon of the time for their investments. And as it stands, when you look at the schemes, the Petra Advantage Pension Scheme and the Petra Opportunity Pension Scheme, we have introduced some innovative investments to actually safeguard against these low investment returns that are being mentioned. So, I mean, if you even take, for example, how the schemes have performed month to date, we are looking at a performance above 40%. And that is because we understand all of these considerations. And as I mentioned, we continue to have scheme member interest at heart.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, the next one also goes to Judy. It says, is it possible for a contributor to withdraw part of his or her contribution to meet an urgent financial need? I think that was addressed somewhere.
But that's dependent. If you're a member of our Tier 2 scheme, in this case, the Petra Advantage Pension Scheme, the law only has grounds for withdrawal, and here we're talking foremost at retirement, whether voluntary or statutory. So we're looking at voluntary is at 55 years, statutory is at 60 years. Or you have medical grounds for which reason for medical reasons you can't continue to work, or you are mentally incapacitated. The law makes provision for such people to proceed on retirement, or to proceed on retirement earlier than the 55 and 60 that we've already mentioned. So for Tier 2, those are the grounds on which you can retire. And then we have specific provisions for people in specific industries, like those in the mining sector who can proceed on statutory retirement at 60. Those are the grounds for Tier 2. When it comes to Tier 3, yes, you can withdraw, but then there's the 15% withholding tax that you have to pay, so that if your request is not urgent, you don't need to withdraw. And bear in mind, when it comes to Tier 3, when you are withdrawing at retirement, you don't pay the 15% withholding tax. And that's why we put in place all these measures around ease loan and ease mortgage to help you safeguard your investment, invest in the long term, accrue returns enough at the time that you are retiring. And then we can help you sort out your temporary financial needs with ease loan.
All right, thank you. Okay, so the next one says that if I move my Tier 3 to private pensions, can I still redeem without tax when the 10 years is due? Again to Judy.
Thank you. I'm loving all your questions.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So I think the question is that when you move your money to private pensions, so you're looking at individual Tier 3, and this happens mostly when people have exited or separated from their employers, the condition still holds. At the time that you move your money to your individual Tier 3 account or your private pension account, have you met the 10-year tax exemption period? If that has happened, yes, you can withdraw, at least while the regulation still stays as it is, unless there's a change. But once, as it stands right now, you are able to withdraw after 10 years tax-free. But if you move it to a private pension and you have not met the 10-year tax exemption period, starting from the date of your first contribution, then when you make a withdrawal, you would have to pay the 15% withholding tax.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. Okay, so the next one says, apart from Standard Chartered Bank, is there no bank that payments can be made? Kennedy? Or
yeah, I think, thank you very much. So, yes, today, in terms of our Tier 2 scheme, Standard Chartered Bank is the custodian, right? And when it comes with Tier 3, it is Stanbic. Okay. We are working on seeing how best we can get other custodians so that it will be easy. Okay. But one of the things that we are trying to explore today is the virtual account numbers, all right? So that it will be easy for you to, if you're doing a transfer, you can make the transfer to the virtual account without going to, join a queue at StanChat. Okay. As we go along, if there are any developments, we'll communicate with our customers and our clients.
Okay, all right. Yvonne, you'd like to add on? Or?
We just appreciate the feedback.
Thank you. All right. So the last one says that what steps are involved if a member who resigned and joined another institution but wishes to continue his contributions at the new place, Judy?
Great. That's a good question and a good consideration for a scheme member. So typically when you separate from your employer, let's say, Kale, you're employed by Petra, and you leave Petra, and Petra has their Tier 2 with Petra, you have an option of keeping your funds with Petra. You move it into a private pension, what they are calling a private pension, or you can call it a personal pension account, whether it is Tier 2 or Tier 3. In Petra, we call the Tier 3 personal pension account savings booster. You can move your money there, and at your convenience, you can choose to be making periodic payments into it. When you also have a lump sum, you can come and deposit into it. You are allowed to do that.
Okay, that's great.
So you continue growing your funds.
Okay, that's wonderful. Very, 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 very good information you've put out there.
Yeah.
All right, but before you all leave, any final remarks, please? I'll start from Yvonne, and then we take it this way.
So we have exciting times ahead. We'd like to thank everyone for continuing to trust in us, and we believe that the next time we meet again, we'll even have better news to share with everyone. Thank you.
Fantastic. Ken?
Thank you, Kali. So what I would say is that decision to manage your finance rests on yourself. And as the Deputy CEO of NPI rightly mentioned, you are the best regulator. I would like to encourage all of us, when it comes to all financial needs, being it from pensions to insurance or savings, investments, and everything, feel free to reach out to Petra, and we have the expertise to be able to assist you to effectively plan for your future. Make sure you take advantage of all these initiatives that we've put across and have an enjoyable 2022 with Petra.
Fantastic. Have an enjoyable 2022 with Petra. All right, so now
I think Yvonne and Ken have said it beautifully. The only thing I'd like to add is the time is now. We have a whole suite of financial products available to help you secure your financial needs or your goals and achieve them. Petra is the place to achieve more. You're at the right place. So the time is now. Make the decision. Speak to one of our financial advisors to ensure that we have a good plan that you are working with and that you have no surprises in the future. Thank you for choosing Petra once again.
Thank you for choosing Petra. Indeed, the time is now. I'd like us to retrieve the USSD. Can we do it together? So star 447 star 70 hash. And then we get opportunities such as selecting products,
yes,
checking your balance,
yep,
requesting a mini statement,
yep,
and then what? Callbacks.
Request for
callbacks. Yes, request for callbacks. So,
or updating your personal details.
Or updating your personal details in addition. And it's free, it's convenient, it's
very
fast,
convenient,
it's reliable, it's seamless.
Right, 24/7.
24/7. One per way now, one per day. So with Petra, you can definitely achieve more. Please make sure that you take advantage of every great initiative from Petra. It's been a great time with you all who have joined us from Zoom. All right, okay. It's been a great time so far. It's been very, very interactive. Your questions came in and they've been addressed. Before we even go, we'll take some closing remarks, and so we'll go for a commercial break. And we'll be right back.
Running payroll can be a strenuous task, so the last thing you want is an extra lengthy process to validate schedules and then make payments, only to be told the payment couldn't be identified or assigned to your staff. But validating schedules and payments for your staff's pension contributions shouldn't be that stressful. With Petra's self-service schedule validation, you can validate your monthly schedules with a few clicks right from the comfort of your seat in less than 3 minutes. It's so simple. Here is what you have to do. 1. Open your browser and visit members.petratrust.com. Enter your login credentials and then select Manage Employer and Validate. 2. To upload your schedule for validation. 3. After a successful validation, a report and payment advice will be sent to your email address. 4. Use the schedule ID on the payment advice as the bank account number when making payments at the bank, or as the reference if you are making payment via bank transfer. That's it. So simple. Please remember that every validator schedule will have a unique schedule ID, which will start with SI with a few other characters. Without this ID, the bank cannot accept your payments. So always look out for the unique schedule ID on the payment advice for payments. Experience convenience. If you require any assistance, click on the chat feature on our members portal or contact our client services team on phone at 024-243-5037 extension 4. Email clientservices@petratrust.com or contact your relationship manager. Petra, achieve more.
It's possible to achieve your financial goals. However, finding the right solution for your financial goals can be complicated. From finding the right investment to managing all your accounts with different providers, or being able to fully track your transactions. So, we thought of making it simple for you. Whatever your goal may be, the Achieve app gives you the right support system to get you there. It provides you with easy access to the right financial products you need to realize your goals. The sign-up process is simple and without any stress. You're also able to grow your savings and investment with the DigiSave account. You can also monitor your transactions effectively. So, download the app now and do more with your cash. It's possible to achieve your financial goals. However, finding the right solution for your financial goals can be complicated. From finding the right investment to managing all your accounts with different providers, or being able to fully track your transactions. So, we thought of making it simple for you. Whatever your goal may be, the Achieve app gives you the right support system to get you there.
All right, you're welcome back to the studios of Petra here in Accra, Ghana Airport specifically. And we started from the beginning with our trustees. We were honored to have them give their opening remarks and give an overview of the previous year's financial performance from Petra. And they are back to conclude, and then make sure that they leave us with some good remarks and assurance about what Petra is doing. We just heard from Kennedy Smith, we heard from Judy and Yvonne, of course, about Petra's great and exciting initiatives. So right now, I have here with me to my immediate right, Mr. Japanin, as well as Mr. Chris Hammond, and finally, Mr. Kweku Osei Brenu. Yes, these are all trustees of Petra. You're very much welcome, sirs.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
the only
much.
difference between themselves and myself is that they are all wearing glasses, but I'm not wearing glasses. and so next time, maybe Seth should inform me so that I also bring mine along. All right, but that is why they are the bosses. All right, because they see with an extra lens. Okay, so at this point, even though the three of them are here, would receive closing remarks from one of them, and that's in the person, I'm told, Mr. Kweku Osei Brenu. He'll give us our closing remarks. Let's hear from you, sir.
Yeah, Kelly, thank you very much. Well, the reason why we wear glasses actually is to see you properly. So I think, yeah, we like to see you like this.
I'm not there yet.
No, we like to see you like this.
Thank
I mean, you're so beautiful, the glasses. I mean, so that's fine. Yes, so I think to our contributors, we'd like to say a very big thank you for keeping your trust and faith in us. And you've heard quite a lot, so I don't think I want to belabor the point. But just to say that, I mean, this is a company that is transparent. It's a company that abides by the rules and laws of the country. It's a company that actually like you to have your pension now, not when you are 60 years old. So actually, we flow with you throughout, and your pension is always available to you, even before you get to 60. And I think, apart from that, you've also heard from the regulator, not only that we comply with the rules and the games, but also that this is a company that is very innovative. It has got very young people. And the point is that, to the contributors, it is to you that we work for. It is to you that we make the money for. It is to you that when you are old and aged, that we care for. So this is a company that is caring. And above all, this company also flows with the time. I mean, these are very challenging and very hard times. But I think, because we are very innovative, your money is safe with us and your money is growing. I mean, it is taking care of all the challenges, all the bad hits that are occurring not only in the country, but globally. And so we like to leave you, the contributors, with the assurance that, like everybody has been said, and we want to repeat it, because it is good that we repeat it, that this is a company you can trust for life. Because it is your life savings that we are keeping, and we are making sure that at the end of the day, or even before the end of the day, you can have it. And I also like to say a big thank you to my fellow trustees, to the company, and then to the custodians who actually keep the money, and the fund managers who make it possible for us to achieve the kind of results that you have heard today. And also to our auditors who make sure that we stick to the narrow and hard path of the route to make sure that your money is safe. And I also like to say a very big thank you to those who have kept their trust in us, not in terms of being contributors, but also in the sense that they believe that this is a company that they like. Not like in the sense of, personal, but also in terms of its professionalism, in terms of its innovation, and also in the fact that it is family at heart. And I also like to thank all those who have made it possible for us to speak to you. And we look forward to seeing you very soon. I hope so, Mr. Chairman. In the very future, everybody. And what is also interesting is also the fact that, we've had about 700 people, logging in to listen to this annual general meeting. And we hope that probably next year we would have it in the thousands. But the assurance is very clear that Petra is transparent. Petra is safe. Petra cares, and Petra has the ability to make your life savings worthwhile. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I wish we could give him a virtual round of applause on this note. Thank you so much. He said it's all. Petra is safe, Petra is caring, is trustworthy, and all that you can think of. And with Petra, you definitely will achieve more. That was Mr. Kweku Asai Brenu. We also have next to him, seated in the middle, Mr. Chris Hammond, the chairman and also deputy managing director of Petra. And then finally, we also have Mr. Daniel Japanin. Thank you very much, sirs, for joining us from beginning to the end and giving us your assurance. These are seasoned professionals, and so hearing from them gives us the confidence about what Petra is doing with our investments and with our pension schemes. All right, at this juncture, to all of you who have opened up your homes and your offices and wherever you are all over the world and allowed us to, speak to you and share with you updates on our previous financial year's performance, we say thank you very much for taking time off your busy schedule to allow us do this. You could have been in a million other places, but you made time for us. And we are indeed very, very grateful. Please do continue to stay in touch with us via our social media handles. Petra on social, on Instagram, also on Facebook, YouTube. We're all over the place. Do follow us, like, share our comments, and spread the good news about Petra's initiatives. My name is Carly Metal Tutu. I have been your moderator. It's been a great time. Let's see you another time. Have a good afternoon. Bye.
Bye.